What's up, all my real life traders? This is Yates with another game changer, RLT afternoon room, every day, 5 Eastern on Zoom. Let's dive in and see the R's being made, traders getting paid, using our market knowledge from RLT, the Stock Market College. We're teaching technical analysis, eliminating fear and market paralysis, enriching lives around the nation where every day is a vacation. When you're doing what you love, following your higher call from above. Without further ado, let's dive into it, crew. What's happening, team? Happy Friday. Glad y'all are here. Psyched to be here. What's up, Jack? How are you doing this fine afternoon? What a day it was in the markets. We're seeing some nice moves out there. What's up, Rhea? How you guys doing? Ariel, how is it going? Good to see everyone. Glad you guys could make it out here. It's going to be a nice jam-packed room today. We might even have a little bit of time to add on some extra tickers. So we'll see how things go. But let's first dive in, take a look at this SPY, and see what the markets are doing at the moment. So we did have a nice, strong close here, and we have a technically would be a bit of a hangman candle at all-time highs. It is a hammer up here. I think the markets look good. The SPY looks strong. Could we get a pullback here? Maybe touch the 10 in a little while. Absolutely. Could we retest this all-time high? Definitely. So we might just get a pullback. I think the pullbacks will be buyable. So if we do get some kind of a little bit of a dip early next week, that could certainly be buyable for a little bit of a move higher until we chop around a little bit more. So things are looking strong out there. I am liking the moves we're getting. Everything is looking good on the bull side for right now. Watch, we could, if we do break this down and close below here, we could get a little bit of a move, maybe to the 20 into 419. So just watch for that. That would be a nice viable dip. And if we do come out and we do come all the way back down into this 417 area where we have this double bottom, that would be a great spot to pick up some shares on the SPY. You can just buy the SPY, hold the SPY, and if you're wanting to get in somewhere around this level, I do like that. So just watch for that. We could easily gap up, have a little bit of a candle like this coming up on Monday. So we'll just see what we get and take it from there. But overall, dip seems viable for the most part from here. So that is the SPY. Let's jump into the Qs real quick. Qs, we talked about it yesterday, said probably going to see some new all-time highs on the Qs very shortly. We do have another little bullish candle. So that is coming up soon. So our all-time high on the Qs is, let's see here, is the high of 342.80. So we will probably get that here before we get any kind of bigger dip. We could sell off. We could hit this 336 range before doing it. So I'm not saying we're just going to gap up and just be making new all-time highs next week, but it seems probable or possible to me that we do that. Also a good buying opportunity is if we do start pulling down into this 50 and possibly touch this 320, 328 area. Somewhere in here, that'd be a nice buy. But if we do just get a pullback to the 10, seems like a buyable dip to me. IWM has a nice candle, nice gap up on it. We did not quite close above yesterday's candle with some with this bearish candle. So IWM, if we do get some closes above here, again, probably will see all-time highs here the next couple of weeks. That one is looking nice and strong. We are channeling on the IWM, so we will see if we do get a move that looks more like a breakout of these all-time highs and a rotation lower and higher, or if we do start to rotate back down at some point and then come back up. We just watch for kind of either one of those scenarios. Both are possible. I would probably vote for the former of just kind of retesting the neckline and moving at least a little bit higher on this IWM for now, but we will wait and see. The DIA had a nice candle, pretty interesting. So if we actually zoom in here quite a bit and look at it, we did break this low of this candle back on June 3rd by 1 penny. The low of that candle is 56 cents, and the low of this candle, oh no, reverse, sorry, wrong. This is 57 cents. Well, we didn't break it by 1 penny. Okay, I did have that backwards. I'm just looking at it. So we didn't break that by 1 penny, but either way, puts a nice here it is, nice, basically tweezed your bottom again on a DIA. Looks good. We talked about that little bit yesterday, nice hammer up here. So if we don't break down, we continue to move higher. The DIA is looking strong. So be bullish, buy the dip. And let's dive into a couple of trades that we have open for the swing rooms. I know the JOAN is one of these here. So JOAN missed you guys by pennies, like just pennies. What was the actual miss? So low of 1583. Oh, nice. A nice 4-penny miss on that one. If I have that open right now, I can check with Jeremy to see what he wants to do on this. I don't think it's, let's see, here's the trade journal. It is still open in the trade journal. I'm not sure if any of you guys have that open or not. I would probably move my entry down. If it was my entry on it, I would like to see probably somewhere in there. Probably could keep the stop about the same. You could get a little bit fancy with it too if you wanted to, and put together something possibly like this as an order. So that could be good on JOAN. If you do have that, if that order, I might change it, cancel it, do something with it, just since it was a 4-penny miss on that one. So just kind of keep your eyes out for that one, and you can. I didn't see anything in the swing room on that for canceling. So just watch it, and I'll update that later this afternoon. Otherwise, possibly move it down just slightly. All right, let's look at ESTC. That is still an open swing trade. Here's the setup we have open on it right now. And playing basically this hammer, this earnings gap up looked good. Did not get filled on this. I wouldn't necessarily cancel this one yet. I like it. I actually have this one open as well. If we do get a fill down here, I think that would be a nice looking trade. You could even add another limit buy in here and do half an R and half an R like we did, like I just set up on JOAN. That would be an interesting buy as well. But I'm liking the STC. We are coming into this resistance at 137.02. So we did just come right into here today. So if we do get some kind of pullback into here, I do like that trade. It looks good. We have a big double bottom on the bigger time frame here. So here's a nice double bottom. And if we zoom out a little bit and look at it on the bigger time frames, we have a really nice resistance we bounced off of at 102. So this one looks really good. I like ESTC. I like the company for a longer term, and I like this setup for the short term. NVTA is another one you guys have set up. Currently, I think that is with options. I have this set up with shares. I believe Robert Falco also has it set up with shares. And we almost came into what would have been my target today, which is the 50. My first target. My second target would probably be up here around 36. So because we're getting close to that target, if we do break above this 50, I'll cancel that one. Otherwise, I'll leave that open and adjust sometime next week. So I think that one still could be good if we do get early beginning of the week sell off and get filled on that. So I think I might have this lower than you, 28.82. Let's see what the actual numbers are. Oh, we actually can't see it. So let's pull it up. 29.36 is how Jeremy has it on there. So my numbers are a little bit lower. I am playing that with shares. So you can feel free to set that up however you want. So 29.36, his is right around the 10 and the 20, which I like a lot. So that one looks good. Possibly hope to get filled on that one soon. Here is Paycom software. This is one, I played this one a little bit differently than the room did once it didn't fill the original trade. And I know Jeremy did adjust this. So I actually did set it up with 2 entries. Here are my 2 entries on it. Got filled with both of them just barely, and we're coming into my target today, which I missed by mere pennies. So I'll probably move that up to the 50 here. If we, I'll move it up to the 50, just under it. So probably around 2046 will be my first target. And I'm just taking, what was it? I think a 5th on that one. So if you're in Paycom, it's working out well. I believe your entry was somewhere around 321 on that. Let's see, trade journal. It was, where is that one? That's the active one. Yeah, 320.90. So 320.90. So you're up nicely on that trade right now. So just kind of play that accordingly. I think it looks good to be taking a little bit of profits, and I will hold this one on a little bit longer term basis up into this 369 area. And I do have, let's see, I do have my trend spider pulled up. I wanted to look at PAYC on there. And so part of the reason I have a 369 target on this one is we do have all this overhead supply right here. So we do have a little bit of a volume gap. So if we do break above and we retest, we come up, I think it could easily come into this 360 region where we will have lots of supply at that point. And I'll be wanting to take profits where we possibly will chop around a little bit in that area. So that's what I'm looking at on PAYC. I think it looks good. Lots of nice looking trades happening here with the swing open swing trades and with the filled swing trades in the afternoon room. So let's dive into a few that are not on the that are not open or anything, but we're just watching. So Wish, I know Jeremy talked about this one a couple days ago in the room, and he was asking if anyone had ever heard of it, or I mean, if anyone ever used it. I had never heard of this. I still don't really know what they do. So no idea what this company does or what's going on with it, but it turned out that no one in the room had used them. Many people didn't know what they knew. Oh, knockoff stuff. Okay, interesting product. So yeah, that's a weird niche, e-commerce of knockoff things. Interesting. Well, yeah, I'd never heard of them. Yeah, just Chinese products. I don't know. Some people probably love it. So yeah, you get the Rolex, exactly. Ships from China. I think this is kind of where you're going to be wanting to take a stab at it if you're wanting to play win. If we do break below this big volume candle that we came in, probably don't want to be in this thing anymore. So if you wanted to set up something basically like this, I think that could be okay. But we are in just a direct downtrend. I know this is Friday. This is Matt DeLong's general day, and I know that when he looked at this chart, he would not be pleased with what Wish is doing at the moment. So just take that for what it's worth. It has just gone straight down basically since February of 2021. And if it breaks below this candle, it will continue to go straight down for a little while longer at least. So that's Wish. I think now's the time to play it and see what it does if you're liking this stock. AYX, speaking of giant downtrend, AYX is possibly bottoming, possibly recovering on this one. AYX used to be we used to be a big fan of this stock at RLT. During this big run up, they had awesome numbers. They had really good gross margins. We did have this huge run up, and then a lot of weird gaps on this one from different news, and we filled some gaps. A lot of traders made some really good money on this one. I did really well on Wix, and then I know most people got out somewhere around this 120 area, and then we have been trucking low ever since. But we are starting to have this rounding pattern right here. We're coming up into the 50. We are at a really nice support in the longer term time frame. So if we scroll out to a weekly, we do have this really nice support around this 75 to 80 level. So could this one start bouncing here? Absolutely, it could, but I would be either in and out quickly or wanting to be in this one longer term. It's going to take us a while to get back to these 120 levels, or it's going to take a really good earnings, and they're going to have to really turn some things around that are the reasons they were down. I know they had some management situations that were going on. I don't know the exact details. I did at a time, but I forget because I sold my shares and quit paying attention. So this could be the time to start paying attention on AYX. We could be bottoming on this one. Looks a little decent. Could set up a nice little swing, something like this, and see how that does. So here would be your stop, and this would be a limit buy, and see what that does. We also, if we do break out above this 50 and retest it, I'd like that as well to buy that retest. So looks good. Watching AYX here. I'll put it back on my watch list. I don't necessarily like it super long term anymore, but for a swing, I could be certainly convinced into AYX for whoever requested that one. Peloton had a strong day today. Looks good. It is going to run up again into these big moving averages. All of our short-term moving averages are below it. We did come into some nice support down here in the 80s, and maybe this is the bounce. We might just continue to go higher if we do break above those moving averages. Look to buy a retest on those. I would want to wait on this one a little bit, let it get up, prove itself a little bit, come in and kind of buy it in this area here. So that's where I'd be watching Peloton. I think otherwise there are better charts. There's other things setting up. We did break this trend line here, so that is good. But I would just give it a little bit of time before getting into it. We did have a nice volume candle today and nice bullish candle. So looks good, but I'm going to give it a little bit of time personally. So that is Peloton, and we're making some excellent time today, and we'll definitely have time for a couple more, I would imagine, as long as I don't get too distracted. It isn't, see, there we go, it happened. It is not a quiet mouse, but is it better? So I had a Zoom call with our boy Dr. Falco, and maybe he fixed my settings enough that I don't have to go spend $15.99 on a quiet mouse. So we apparently have found out, and a win for Robert Falco. All right, perfect. Glad my sound is great, and I do have a mouse pad. That's true. So that was an easy fix. Or maybe it's just that I haven't been to the gym in like a week since I don't sleep anymore, and so I'm just not strong enough to click it hard enough that you guys can hear it. It's one of the two of those. I guess we'll find out which one when I start going to the gym again. All right, so ARCB. This one has just taken a direct ticket to the 200, it seems. So I would wait for it to get that full pullback if I was looking to get into ARCBest Corporation. It did just sell off super fast. It did have this retest gap that if it was going to hold up, should have kind of held up around this area. So since it broke down the 50, since it broke down the 100, I'm definitely wanting to buy that one back down here around 52 and possibly like it even better around 46. So when you have these big, huge trends, as we have seen, when they do start to really fail and just break through these averages quickly, it does behoove you to possibly be patient on these things. Coming into this 50 region, and then right here are some good areas to get into this on a little bit of a longer term swing trade basis, and without it showing some signs of reversal, something to buy, some rounding patterns, some Morningstar reversals, something. I would not just take a stab at buying this one unless it comes all the way down into this 53 level. So yeah, I mean, it's just wreck. Like, look at these volume candles. So much volume coming in, everyone's selling. So I don't want to be trying to catch the falling knife on this one. Our RSI is super low on the daily. On the weekly, it's getting down there. So we will see. Yeah, I mean, this could certainly be the wave 3, is what Joseph is saying, and I agree with that. We could have 1, 2, 3. The 3 would have to come down here. This could be a 5 though as well if you count it. So if you count to 1, 2, 3, that one, yeah, probably a 3, 4, 5 coming into this area somewhere in here. Yeah, I like that. Count on it, and also that would be kind of enough time for this thing to move sideways. And then as it starts to round, that's where you wanted to buy it. So be patient. Somewhere in the July time on this one looks a little bit better to me than just jumping in and grabbing that knife on that one. If you're taking a short, we've already sold off too much for a short as well. So I think this one is just being patient for the time being on it. So that is ARCB. So let's take a look at AMD. AMD has just been moving so sideways the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. If you're day trading AMD and you took it short off of this 100 simple moving average, awesome work. If you are swing trading this one, hopefully you took this pennant pattern breakout here and right here, and then probably taking some kind of profits up into here. As of now, we are just moving sideways. We're stair stepping, And if we just do move up into this 83 level, I do expect it to do a little bit more chopping. AMD has just been really sideways. We had some really good earnings. I'm gonna delete those. We had some really good earnings. How long ago was that? Seems like forever ago now. April 27th. So I guess it's a while ago. Really good earnings that we just sold off, and we're starting to recover even where we were just before those earnings. So hopefully we get back, we regain this 100, we regain the 200 because it's been pretty pushed down here. Yeah, Robert's saying the 100 keeps pushing it down. Absolutely, it does. We did bounce where we needed to. We did put in a nice little double bottom here. The patterns are looking good. I mean, we have to break out of this thing. This 9 days sideways. If it needs to break out, yeah. If it gaps up over this, that would be great. Will it? We'll see. We also do then have the 200 in the way right here. So we'll see on AMD. It's gonna shape up here in a while. I think we're gonna have to be patient on it. If you're day trading it, you're getting a decent amount of chop these last 9 days. So probably not the easiest thing to day trade, except if you're using these moving averages, you can see how well it would have worked to use the bigger time frame moving averages to sell here, to sell here, to sell here, and to buy here. And I guess that will work as well. But that's 4 trades right there. Possibly 1 or 2 losers in the midst. Could have done really well just playing this sideways action on AMD. Looks good. So let's move over to JP Morgan. JP Morgan had some selling today, and well, the last 2 days, I should say. And we are coming right into this 50, which if you're wanting to pick up some JP Morgan, if it breaks above this little high wave bearish candle with some volume, that might be a good place to get in. Otherwise, possibly getting in down here in the 157 region also looks pretty good. So, I mean, the trend on this one is pretty nice. And we haven't hit the 200 since October. So will we actually break down on this one and get a bigger retest? We are only at that would only be a 9% retest on this stock. So maybe we would. It certainly could be a little bit of a top put in for now. I don't think this is the top of JP Morgan, but can we move sideways? Can we sell? Are we going to just blast up to all-time highs above 168 next week or the next couple of weeks? Probably not based on this chart. We did have some really nice moves on it, and it is a bank stock. They don't tend to move super fast, super aggressively, so we have run up pretty far on it. That's almost the exact same analysis for this Goldman Sachs chart. They're very similar. We do have a little bit of a nicer look to Goldman Sachs. We have this retest gap right here, and we did fill it yesterday, and we are moving up. This is a big bearish candle that is engulfing two full days, and we're just moving up. So if we do break down again, I think we're probably going to come down possibly to 360. Hard to say on this one, but I do like it. It's a little bit better if we do keep moving up, just because all we were doing is filling that retest gap. So we just came down, and if you had your limit order at this exact level, which based off of these candles right here, possibly you got skipped. If you had it here, you got filled if it's a little bit higher. That would be a nice entry on this one, and you're just hoping that we can get enough bullish momentum to take out all of this volume, and then you have a really nice trade on your hands. But I think it'll take a little while to do. So that last time that happened, kind of back over here, we had a gap up and we traded down. It did take 1, 2, 3, basically 4, 5, 6, like 7 days to make a little bit of a move higher. So give it a time to make some inside candles here, and this one has even more volume than this candle as well. A little bit different placement of it, so I don't think it'll play out quite the exact same as far as making a new high next week. So just watch the Goldman Sachs for a little bit of sideways to choppy movement to downward movement right now. Let's look at Airbnb now. Airbnb looks nice here. We have a couple of nice patterns setting up here. We didn't quite get as low as I would have liked. Obviously, I would have liked us to come into the 120 area. That would have been really nice on Airbnb. Will we? Maybe. But we certainly don't have to. This could kind of be our low, and we do just continue to grind up higher. We are having COVID is gone, reopening, all the things in the news. Everyone's saying everything's great for stocks like Airbnb. So this could be our low that we put in here on May 19th. If you're playing it, I do. We are right on these averages. I liked the buy 2 days ago. If you were getting in, that was kind of the time, in my opinion, to get in. As of now, you could just buy a small retest and play this on a little shorter time frame up to the 50. We did sell off a pretty good amount. There's going to be a decent amount of overhead supply on this thing, so just be able to take your targets fairly quickly and be able to take partials on this thing if you're in it. Otherwise, it looks good, and this could be the bottom that we put in on it. Even though I would like it to make one more low, possibly, that would be good. If you wave count it, it could be in wave 4 right now, downwards, and that would be nice. So we'll see on Airbnb. We'll keep watching it. CHWY. So CHWY did have a gap down on earnings yesterday. We talked about it. That's the Mr. Squiggles I drew on it, where I wanted to be buying it, basically at this 72.42 level. That's where I would like to be in it, and that was sort of based off of this weekly chart a little bit. That would be kind of coming into the 50, into this hammer-ish candle on CHWY, and on the, I think, does CHWY have the monthly hammer? It does. So our boy Robert Falco sold a, go to the daily, sold a July 65 put. I like that. So he sold a put right here, which looks good. So that's, I'm not sure the exact day count on that right now. I think it's like 40 days, possibly something. 38, no, 37. I don't know. It's about a month away, and that is a put sale. So that's a good move. Probably he got 97 cents, good premium on that. I like it. That is a good place to be buying shares too, because if we do come back down into that area, there are certainly going to be some buyers wanting to pick that up at that price again, who missed it. And on this big monthly hammer that we were talking about just last week, if we do retest the bottom of that hammer and move higher, that's going to be a really nice looking bottom that this chart put in. So I like that play. I will actually maybe look at doing one of those tomorrow. If we do get any kind of move lower, that would be nice. So DraftKings, let's take a look at DraftKings here. DraftKings is pushing higher here. We did have a decent move up, and we are retesting all these moving averages, and it's a big bullish candle with volume. So if you're wanting to have a short-term swing trade on DraftKings, I like it somewhere in this region to buy it, and possibly stop down here or right here as your more aggressive stop, and then a target up into this 57 region on DraftKings. If you zoom out a little bit on DraftKings and look at the longer term time frame, it is one that has a okay-ish monthly hammer. So if we can get above this 58 region, I think this one will be nice. That will be a nice pullback on it, and that will be pretty bullish signal for it. If we do break down this, I'm looking to buy a little bit more down here around the 20 on the monthly chart, the 20 on the monthly chart. So that's a long ways away. That's 40, that's 38 is where I'd be buying that. Do I think we'll get there? Probably not. But on a shorter term swing trade, if you have shares, selling covered calls, if we get up into this 200 area, if you get into this 100 area, I mean, around 58 would be a good spot to do it. So DraftKings looking good, possibly recovering, but sell some covered calls against it if you have shares. ONEM possibly putting in a double bottom here, and this would hopefully be kind of the spot that it does hold. So hopefully we hold these two candles. If we gap down below them, we could definitely get some selling on this. This bullish candle, we are completely inside it for the last 5 days. So if we get some selling or some gap below there, it's going to be getting a little bit more selling. If we do start to move up higher, though, this could be the double bottom that people are watching for on ONEM. We did break this one down not too long. It was March to May. It took about 2 months to finally break down this, and we did break down to 200. So we have on the 200 on the daily. We have some good selling volume coming in on this earnings, and if we do break that down, we
do probably have lower to go. So let's see here. If I use, do I, yeah, more whole case. I don't know if it's just Yates is good. If that works, does it sound weird? Let me unplug it and hold on. Is that better? Any better now? Verbally audio, yes. Okay, interesting. Just that's my one move, so it wasn't. I would have just had to log off and quit. Yeah, let me check. It's using this mic in too. Yeah. Okay. It sounds good though. We're back to sounding fine on the mic. I would say yes. Yes. Okay. Perfect. All right. ONEM. Not on the 5 minute. Don't want to look at that. I was looking at the bigger time frame. So we certainly could, if we break down, we certainly could come into this 28 area. So that would be kind of the next support on this thing. If we do come down to 28, that would be your next viable place. But it certainly could. It certainly could do that, I think. Otherwise, it really needs to double bottom. Really needs to hold this area pretty strong over the next couple of weeks, I think. So that's ONEM. If you're in it, buy some protected puts. If we break down this area around 33, 34. 33, 34, yeah. So we don't want to break that necessarily next week. That would be a little bit more bearish than the bulls would like. All right, MRNA. MRNA is still looking strong. We have put in a little bit of inside movement, some sideways movement up here. So if we do break out and keep moving higher, be bullish. I mean, this one doesn't have to pull back. We did have a pretty big run here in the last month that was 60%, but doesn't mean it has to be over just because we had a lot of bullish candles in a row. We have moved sideways for basically this full week. We just moved sideways. So if we do break out above it, we could get a little bit more of a run on this one. I do have this purple line on it as it was a resistance. If we do pull back down into there, I think that could be a nice support to buy off of around 186. But will it? Probably not for a little while. It's going to be a little bit before it does. And if it does break out of here, it's going to be even longer. So I think mRNA looks good. If you're in it, stay in it. If you want to sell covered calls on it, definitely give yourself some room because we could keep moving on this thing for a little bit. The monthly chart looks really good. We did just break out of this consolidation here, and so we could certainly see some movements on it. So it looks good to me. It looks bullish. Buy the dip and be bullish on mRNA. Spotify. Spot did run directly into that 50 today, and it had a nice double bottom, and it's just consolidating. I mean, this one has been pretty sideways, and this chart looks really similar to AMD and a couple of those other charts where it's just on a little bit of a struggle bus the last year or so. We're pretty much the exact same spot we were in June, and not much action happening. However, if you did buy this low, you did get a nice 20% run in a little bit under a month. So nice moves out there to be had, even in some of these sideways stocks. Nice bold moves. So we probably will move a little bit sideways. If we break above this candle today, I do like that. Kind of be bullish on spot. We did also, there's not as good of a trend line on this one that we broke out of. So possibly could come back down into this resistance again and make a double bottom into the support. Into the support around, possibly we might fill this gap 120. That would be a good buying area on spot. That's kind of where I would like it to come down to at some point to buy it and move higher. So you can see we made a double bottom here with a lower low, and it did fail. And then possibly we'll do that. We did that again right here. And so let's see if that one holds up. We get a neckline retest around the 230 area, and it looks good. So that is Spotify. Uber, very similar chart, and looking a little more bullish based on the moving averages. Though we are above this 200, we have a nice hammer that came in yesterday. So I do like Uber's hammer that came in yesterday. We did wick below pretty much all of these candles right here. So we wicked below everything there, stopped anyone out who was in that, and today we have a nice little indecision candle. So we have kind of a little nice Morningstar reversal-ish pattern going on here. So if you're wanting to play that, you do have a lot of overhead resistance, but resistance is meant to be broken. So you could play something similar to this and try to get Uber to get back up to this 200. This will probably take some time. You do have some big selling candles over here. You're going to have a lot of overhead supply on this one just because we've been moving sideways for so long and then we broke down. However, I do not hate that trade just because the position of this lower wick would be the main reason that I was even looking at this setup. So if we broke above there, it could work. I won't be taking that trade. I would rather see it break this candle down and come down lower. But I do like that trade setup. It looks decent. Looks okay. A little bit cute. So CVAC. All right, CVAC. We just took out all of these bulls the day after, just got wrecked. We have some more buyers here. CVAC is, of course, about as sideways as it gets. And we did just break down this 100. So we gapped below it. We finished bullish on the day. Obviously, it's a gap down. We're down 7%. But we did have a little bit of a bullish candle. There were some buyers to be had. However, this thing is probably going to keep selling off. All of these buyers are trapped that bought on any of these days. We closed below this hammer. We closed below this big candle. So we probably will see some more selling. So possibly we do sell down into this lower level where is a baby 200 has started around 88, and which is basically where we've been channeling for the last ever, I think, on this one. It's basically making a triangle on here as well. So if you like playing triangles, it's not really tight enough for you to do much, even on the, I mean, on the weekly maybe, but it's not triangle-y enough. We just basically had some nice trend lines coming in on here. So we do kind of break these down, not giving the best signal, and we do have an overhead trend line somewhere in here. Yeah, not as good a one, possibly on a daily, but it looks like we'll probably have lower. I would like to buy it around 78, much more than up here. Probably, I mean 88. Sorry, that's around 88 looks better to me. This big, so we can buy it down there. But CVAC looks like it's going to have a little lower. Took out a lot of those bulls. All right, let's look at the trade desk. So trade desk is one that is looking good. It's looking strong, and there is a split announced. Split is next 17th. I don't know what day that is. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's Thursday, I believe. So the split will be happening next Thursday. Will we get a little bit of selling, and so we can buy some dips on this one? That would be nice. I would like that if we come down in there. I have some. I am in some trade desk. I bought some over here as we were moving up, and then I have some limits set kind of all throughout this region here. For a longer term position trade, just because this one's going to be so liquid, it's going from $599 a share to $60 a share approximately. So we're getting a 10-for-1 split on this thing, which I really like. I like them fundamentally. I think it's a pretty cool company. And so I want to be in a few shares of them right now. I actually only bought, I'm thinking I'm in like 20 shares. So that'll be 200 shares when we get the split, which will be nice because I'll be able to sell covered calls against it now, which is one of the things I don't like about pretty expensive stocks where you need basically a $60,000 position to sell covered calls against this thing, or do leaps and sell them against that. So I'm pretty excited about this split. I like it. And if we get some selling back into the 500 area, I'll be buying a decent amount more of the trade desk. It looks good to me. Nice bounce. We filled all these unfilled gaps over here. We filled this gap over here. Looks good. So we will see what happens on the split. We did get a nice run up into the split when it was announced, and we had a nice run up higher. So looks good on the trade desk. All right, let's look at EXPI. That's another one I know a number of people got in kind of towards the bottom here. This one had, I think it was like an 80% run up or something in the last month. 86% run up since the 13th of May. Wow, nice. In less than a month, 86% run up. And I mean, obviously, we had a huge sell off here from all time highs, and to that, we had 76% sell off, which is enormous. And a lot of people got wrecked on that one if they were trying to buy these dips. But whoever timed this one perfectly is sitting real pretty. And this did give us some signals for a bottom down here. It does look pretty good on the weekly as well. If you zoom out, we did have that hammer. Pretty obvious symbol there. Signal symbol, maybe that too. I don't know. Pretty obvious hammer right here to say, hey, maybe this is reversing. And if we come down again and we double bottom, that will be a viable event, in my opinion, as well. So watch for that on EXPI. I think that looks really good, and I think we might get some selling back to some of these levels around the 32 region. So keep an eye on it. If you aren't in right now, I think you want to buy a bit of a pullback on it, but we could easily keep moving higher out of this. So if we break above, we'll put in just a super tiny little candle today with a little overshadow. If we do kind of break above, we hold all these moving averages, we hold the 200, we could just keep on trucking higher on the XPI. So that one's looking really good. If you're in, stay in. I like it. If you're not in, buy a dip. All right, Stone. Stone, kind of the same thing. We had a decent run up for the last few days. We have this double bottom being put in. I think this one has a nice monthly hammer. It does. So there's the monthly hammer on Stone. That is going to retest some, presumably. Definitely a hammer this large on a monthly time frame. This could be the retest back to 61.41. That looks good. So do we need to go a lot lower on Stone? We certainly do not. So this one, if we do get back, if we do start moving up higher, this could be the retest of our double bottom right here, and neckline retest, and we could just easily keep trucking higher. So this one looks like it could break out higher nicely. In this market, I wouldn't buy breakouts, but if it breaks out higher than where you're looking, so above 65, buy the retest of that. Or if you wanted to get aggressive on it and take this breakout above 64 and have your stop somewhere down here, I like it. So Stone's shaping up to look nice a lot because that some good volume is coming in on it, and we do have that really nice monthly hammer on this on Stone. So that's how I'm playing this one, is based off that monthly hammer, and so it's going to be a little longer play. If you're playing things based off bigger time frame candles, obviously you're going to be in them longer than if you play things on an hourly chart. So if I'm looking at a monthly candle, I can't really expect on here. I can't really expect for to set it up super. I can't set it up super. Not aggressive, super conservatively, and expect us to get up here in 2 weeks. That's not going to happen. So, because this is the monthly chart. So, if you kind of even draw your Mr. Squiggles where we retest and we move around, we move higher, it could be in, I don't know, the end of the year until we move up into this all-time highs again. So, just something to keep in mind if you're looking at bigger time frames, if you're using analysis based on bigger time frames. You're gonna have to be more patient on them. So I think it looks good though. I like it on a longer term basis, and so it's more of a position trade for me. So looks good on Stone. A little bit of a tangent. Net, this thing is just been rocket shipping higher, and we are coming into a little bit of resistance up here. It is just moon lamboing. I mean, net has been so strong, and I'm not in any net at all. But guess what I am in? Just I bet the people in the chat can guess. It's Fastly. They didn't guess, but it's one of Net's competitors that is. It looks the opposite of this chart. I think if you flip this upside down and then it heads directly into the ground, like that's the stocks that I pick. Like it's looking too bullish for me. Like I don't want to make this much money. Like what could I possibly do with this much money? Traders supposed to use this cloud for I mean, I'm looking to buy into some Net. I'm convinced that I shouldn't just be in one and have picked one. So that's a good company, strong fundamentals. And if it pulls back into this 87 region, that's where I'll be picking up a little bit of net. So I think it certainly could. We're running right into this all-time high. That would be a nice spot to buy. If we fill this retest gap setting up something around some of these candles would be pretty nice. Our daily RSI is getting a little bit oversold on this. We're up a mere 45% since the 19th of May. So in like 20 days, we're at 45% on a big company. This one definitely could use a little bit of a pullback. And so if we get that, I'll be looking to buy around 85, 60, probably 86. So that net way better than Fastly, says Robert Falco. Yeah, I don't know about that on the actual fundamental side, but I know you're a Fastly hater, Robert. So we'll see. We'll see in the long. I mean, it will. They are very good companies, both of them. The charts on them, I 1000% agree with you. I like Fastly Tech better than Net. I agree with Jonathan on that one. But just because it's a little bit better product doesn't mean it's going to be the winner. Doesn't mean it's going to be the stock to own. So I mean, Net right now clearly is the stock to own over the two of them. If you're looking at them on literally any time frame. The weekly chart is we had just a little bit of a pullback here, and we're back to new all-time highs. If you look at our pal, the infamous Fastly, we had a lot of bit of a pullback, and we're not at all-time highs. So this isn't how you want to see your charts necessarily, but I think that this probably will recover. However, we have so much overhead supply. If we get up into the 64 region, there's a lot of resistance. So be selling covered calls against your positions if you're down on them, and just be patient with this one. It's going to take some time, but we have had a little bit of recovery on it, so it's looking all right. So we'll see. By all right, I mean kind of like death. So that's Fastly, that's Net. Let's see. Let's look at NVRO. My boy Jack wanted to look at this one, and he was looking at setting up a swing trade on it. Basically buying it. Where was he buying this one? Basically looking to buy it off of the. I think it's kind of where it's at right now. So he was looking to buy it kind of right here. It does look nice. We had this little bit of a hammer right here and a nice bullish candle on it. I do like the look of it. If you're going to be buying it, that's a nice candle. You could buy half of this candle right here around 152.50 and have your stop down here around 138. I'm on the weekly too. That's probably why I'm looking at this so ridiculously. So if you tried to buy this around 154 or around 156 and you had your stop down here, I do like that play. So Jack wanted to look at that one. It looks good. We did close above all the moving averages. Everything's turning bullish on it. So NVRO looks pretty nice. Nice trend line here. Also, this is a really nice candle to be buying off of if you set up this hammer or this hammer. Both of them looked great, or even this hammer for a small move. So NVRO puts in a lot of hammers is what we're finding out through this very quick snapshot analysis. So play the hammers on it. If they come in, they seem to do decently. Obviously not all of them win, but looks good. So nice find on that one, Jack. Looks good. I can do 3 more tickers. The first 3 to go in, I will take a look at, and then we will wrap up, get some tickers for Monday, and move on a little bit. SQ, we can certainly look at SQ, CMMB. Perfect. We'll look at all these. So one more available. All right. SQ looks good. We did bounce again off this 200. We held up. We had the retest. Realistically, it looks like the perfect next line retest. We did just come in, put in a double bottom right here. Here's a double bottom, and we neckline retest right there and to move higher. So that one is looking real cute. Can we break up above this candle today where we had some selling pressure and move into this 100 simple moving average? That would be nice. I would definitely like that on Square. Square is a very strong stock fundamentally, and I like the chart pattern on it right now. So it's looking really good. If you go into a weekly chart on Square, we did bounce right off of the 50 on a weekly. So bounce off the 50, put in a little bit of tweezer bottom right at this support right here. So yeah, I like that one. This one probably will move up a little bit higher here and looks good. So CMMB will be our last ticker of the day, CMMB. And Brody said this is a lotto play. I know the chart looks terrible. All right, yeah, we should probably get off the monthly because it's got some roughness. Uh, I mean, it's not good if that's if we're looking for good charts. I think we eliminated CMMB in 13 seconds. Okay, gap on this one. I like it if you're for kind of day tradable. Were you looking to doing options on this one, or what did you want to do? Triggered daily Momo today. Yeah, okay. I mean, absolute zero. Yeah, I would definitely do absolute zero. Options plays, they're probably, this is $24 stock. If it has options, I assume it does. Because it's volatile. It's a weird chart. But if you're playing this one, a lotto play, honestly, if we break above this candle, that's if we gap above this candle, I definitely like it. If we break above this candle, I like it. Your options will get pretty expensive if we start doing that. But if you just want to get in now and watch for break above it, and if we do break down, just have your stop there too, you could do that. But yeah, I mean it's an interesting chart, and I mean these could work pretty well if we gap right. So I mean if we gap above this candle right here, we could certainly get a nice little move on this one higher. So just yeah, keep your eye on it. And did you actually get in this one already, Brody, or are you just watching to possibly get in? Okay, you did get into it. Yeah, I mean, I actually like that play then. So if you already got in today, absolute zero, especially depending on where you got in, because there was a retest gap. Our yesterday's candle was a white candle. It was bullish, and we did retest and filled that gap exactly. So if you bought down here, that's actually a really nice look. And if we do gap up and we break above all these sellers, I mean, all these people are saying, hey, this is way too high for this stock. It does the high yesterday. Perfect. I mean, that's a good play. I like it. So Brody got in right there, and probably let's see. Let me dive in here to the yeah. So you got in on this little candle. You could have made some nice money exiting probably on this little bounce here. So we'll see what it does over the weekend. If we do get some gap ups, gaps up, gap up. If we do get a gap up. We did run up. Our pre-market will be up here, so I would watch for a gap up. If we do get one, probably just sell possibly at open depending on what it's doing, because we have resistance all the way up here in the pre-market and the post-market at the 100, which is at $30. So yeah, you got to have a little fun now and then. Just make sure your risk is make sure your risk is in check and you're good. So awesome. Well, that's a good list of stocks we went through. Anything else that you want me to look at real quick? Otherwise, we will wrap it up and I will get the Monday list here for you guys tomorrow. Well, it's basically tomorrow. Weekends generally don't count as real days, right? All right. What do you guys want to look at on Monday? Nothing. All right, there. AMC. All right, there we go. AMC, OTLY, pins, CRM. CRM is CRM's looking so good right now. AFRM. Thanks, Albert. You have a good one. I will see you guys later in the week next week. I'm not sure who exactly is running the room in the beginning of the week, but we'll see you early in the week. And if we Thursday, Friday, I believe I will be here. So thank you guys. Yeah, we'll look at Snap. We can do that. And you guys all have a great weekend. And I will see you all later.